Alright, what's up, yins guys? Time for another video. This one about the global warming sham. And before you start turning up your nose there, I actually disagree with some people that are saying about global warming itself is a sham, before I explain. But there is a global warming sham, yes and no. Yes, there is global warming going on, and it's been going on for centuries. And there's a global warming sham too, where I think people get confused. Yes, we got more and more people in the population driving cars and everything else. You've got some cities that got so much cars and traffic that the air, and they say that's causing global warming. And then you got stuff that's naturally causing global warming that acting like it's a big deal now when it was going on for centuries. But the shit they're saying on TV, like our president now, saying about we gotta fight, we can stop global warming. No, we can't stop no global warming. There's some things that we can't stop. We can actually stop that I sort of agree with, but electric cars are not the answer. Well, for one thing, electric, you got to produce electricity somehow. You're gonna do all that solar. You know what that shit's gonna cost. And all the batteries that they're making for all this electric cars and all this shit, that produces toxic chemicals. And what are you going to do when you throw away? You got to safely dispose of or try to recycle those. All it is, there's a sham saying that everything that people are doing now is causing global warming. Most of it, maybe some of it, if not some of it, most of it, a good bit of it is a lie based on somebody wants to sell their electric cars, right? And they want to kill the business that sells gasoline engines and yada yada. And not to make a big long ass video about it. That shit's really going to go over big. Like, you're going to stop everybody in the world from using gas and diesel. Yeah, the Arab country, oil-rich Arab countries like Saudi Arabia, oh yeah, they're really going to go along with that. Are you really going to make them do away with that? I don't think so. But I actually believe, talking in parentheses, that a lot of things like coal and your oil, like petroleum and all that shit, I don't know if in our lifetime or not, that there is a legitimate worry that all the oil and everything in the whole world could be eventually gone. Say, I don't know how much oil there is in some of these other places, but people are worried about it. Well, there was all these, talking in parentheses also, there's all these videos you see where people should have closed down certain coal mines and things like that back in the day, and they had them open anyway, and people got killed. They worrying about getting more coal, and we do have these legit problems about, like, say, these coal mines, even ones that ain't in use anymore, like sinkholes showing up and swallowing houses and every damn thing else, and really interesting videos about Centralia, Pennsylvania, where there was a coal mine under there and people were burning trash, and the whole damn town is smoldering, I think, under the ground till this day. Them YouTube videos saying it's the real life Silent Hill, it's totally. Yes, there's concerns like this, and then you get fracking, get natural gas, yeah, and then can cause earthquakes, and then you can say a lot of them places where you get all that oil underneath, when all that oil's gone, you got an empty spot, what's going to happen? Just like coal mines, it's going to subside or whatever. And I do remember way back, I think it was a bunch of years ago, like what, it wasn't 2012, I remember the exact year, but it was like bunch of years ago there, remember that oil rig that exploded in the Gulf there? There was like this big hole in the bottom of the ocean. They were worried about that they didn't know if it was going to keep right on spewing out, and then if it was going to destroy all the oceans in the whole world, like how much oil was under there. They were going to keep, it was going to keep right on leaking and leaking. And that disappeared from the news media after a while, and I saw some video somewhere a long time ago, and I saw on TV even after all that shit that instead of trying to get that oil out of there, they were putting booms around there, lighting it on fire or whatever, and burning it, which you're damned either way. What's that doing to the air or whatever the hell? But there was all kind of talk about trying to find a way to get it out of the water and then reuse it, or just get it out of the water instead of setting it on fire. But yeah, there's like, I'm saying that there's like these environmental dangers, if you will, mining coal, get petroleum and all that, but environmental, but they be over. Somebody having furniture delivered, a truck there making that noise. Somebody just had a truck, had some furniture delivered, their automatic tailgate. That's what you're hearing in the background there. Oh, there you go. Excuse the noise. I think it's done. There was a truck in the background, local furniture store delivering some furniture, and they had, those tailgates that raise up and down. Some of them are noisy. Go down on the ground and it come up. That's what, if you hear that in the background, it was messing up my talking there. Trying to concentrate on saying. Well, anyway, I'm saying global warming was fucking going on for centuries. There's these YouTube videos, everything from. I love the YouTube channel Infographics, but there's a lot of other channels too that were talking about all this. When people were exploring on sailing ships, a way to get here to there. If you will, they were talking about way back in the 16, 17, and 1800s, places where there were like icebergs all over the place, right? But shit was melting back then. So there was global warming going on back then, and there was a lot of interesting YouTube videos I seen where way back when we had some of our first settlers in America, I believe, that they were saying that we had an abnormally long, like, winter, like snow in July and shit, because a volcano somewhere way back, they're telling us this now in some video, they probably didn't know back then, or were they getting it from historical records, but they were saying that this volcano erupted, and there was, like, some blocking out the sun, if you will, and saying that some of our Indian settlers over in the United States here were experienced like snow in July and shit, long ass winter because of this volcano. And who the hell knows if they knew back then if that was why it was caused. But yeah, you're taking this video as word for it, but yeah, we worry now. We're seeing volcanoes on the news, and that these volcanoes, say, what if more than one of them erupt all the time? Well, a lot of people in different religions believe this. You might have bunch of volcanoes erupting, you might have a long, cold spell. But then other people are saying, oh, you're going to have a global warming, a great heat that's going to kill a lot of people. And there is some places that are getting hotter. What I'm saying is, this shit was going on for centuries. Yeah, you do get global warming, but the Earth ain't just spinning, it's shifting different ways on the axis, right? So, no matter what the fuck, how many cars and shit that we have, yes, it produces a lot of smog and choking some people to death in some cities, right? But there is no fucking way we're causing this shit that was going on for centuries. Yeah, you got more polluted air. And while it's on my mind, if you're still with me on this, I'm going to reference once again one of my favorite audiobooks, Henry Rollins, the CD called Everything. It was based on an entire paper book that he wrote, but his Everything CD was part of that. I wouldn't mind having an audiobook for the whole thing, but he said Henry Rollins said in one of those, in a clip from one of those, I think, hey, you go get the CD and play it. He talked about how Los Angeles had all that kind of smog. Everybody else is used to it. He was saying in the CD, sarcastically for dramatics, keep breathing, human. Like everybody else drinks and smokes out there in Los Angeles, all smog and that, cities like that. But yet some woman from I think he said the Netherlands or what country, or Dutch, some country, I don't have came here to do a news media report on, I think, homeless or some other kind of thing. And the woman wasn't used to all the pollution in her country. And the woman was like sick in the hospital for like long time or some crap like it. I don't remember the exact words, but I believe what he's saying there. You do got cities, big cities all over the world where you got all these cars and all that. And hey, hell, I rode bicycle in some place where there was so much traffic backed up uh, a long time ago, and I was feeling real black from all the fumes because the cars. Not going to make it a long story, but we had an area where they were at a landslide that kind of covered up the major highway, and it closed the highway, so people were coming. All the people that used the major highway were coming the back way, and here was me riding a bicycle down this back way, and all these cars, and they're all giving me dirty ass looks because I'm pedaling along on a bicycle, you know, my merry way, and they're all backed up, and I'm just riding right on by, you know, and that's kind of funny. So, but anyway, I kind of smelled like a lot of concentrated cars. I was coming from a part of a major kind of like city area. Yes, the carbon monoxide was kind of making me black. All the guys watching this, you might have had that experience where a lot of concentrated fumes of cars would do that to you to one extent, right? So I'm buying that. Yes, there's global warming. I'm not sure that, and all that shit we're causing is global warming. But yes, air pollution problem where people getting sick, concentrated amounts of, because everybody got these cars. Yeah, I partially agree. Electric ain't the complete answer either. And I think, yeah, they're doing that. And they're trying to impose shit about emissions that are fucking impossible. The technology is impossible, at least for now. Like when they fined the hell out of Volkswagen for like cheating on the emissions things when they were building the cars. Remember that shit? And you putting like what software in there to bypass the when they're building the cars that it so it actually approves the government standard emissions, which I actually believe there too that was a bunch of damn bullshit. Yeah, maybe they used the software and cheated and all that, but that fucking technology, they were these people building the cars are pressured to try to build these cars with emission standards that are fucking impossible. Yeah, maybe people are still working on it, but goddamn, I think yeah, people in authority are doing that shit on purpose too. Not that everybody wants polluted air either or whatever, and everybody wants a fucking car whether they need one or not. And I actually personally believe in using a car as little as possible. I won't bore you with all that details, but anyway, that's yeah. There's a lot of shit you could talk about with that. You know what I mean? Like the pollution. Yeah. Before I keep going on in this video, that's too long of a video. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, more and more people, the population, people build more and more houses and shit, right? And for every expanded bunch of houses or buildings or businesses, of course, there's toilets and everybody takes a shit. More and more population. Back in the day, before we had the sewage treatment plants to take all the doo-doo out of the water, they used to flush straight into the rivers, and people realized that when America was still highly rural, and it was more rural than it is now. I mean, people still rode horses. People started getting the flushing toilets, so to speak, and all that, and people realized they couldn't be throwing all their doo-doo in the water anymore. I remember I went on a boat tour trip to Lake Erie. The guy that was the boat tour guide announcer dude was talking about how in Lake Erie they had this paper mill. They just threw it all in the water, and then the whole lake was black. People realized they couldn't keep doing that shit. I understand that, you know what I mean? The people had to find a better way to get rid of their doo-doo, and they couldn't just throw industrial waste right into the river or the ocean and could come right back up. I understand that, you know what I mean? Yeah, and then you got the shit where different parts of the world, you ever see these documentaries, they have these bunkers way into the ground that they're storing the nuclear waste. Uh, yeah, I ain't gonna bore you all the shit that you can look up in YouTube videos yourself. I mean, the nuclear waste from every, whether it's a power plant or anything else that the government is doing with nuclear, you got all kind of shit that they're putting it away in these bunkers now. That they're gonna just keep putting it there forever, and they used to bury it places. Yeah. And then put in parentheses Chernobyl and and what a lot of us are calling Japan's Chernobyl, which I'm pretty sure that happened not too long before or after. I got to look up the date that that oil rig blew up in the Gulf. Give or take, I forget if it was before or after. I got to look that shit up myself. But remember that happened in Japan there. That Japan's Chernobyl. Yeah, nuclear. Everybody ought to have electricity and lights on, and everybody needs natural gas to stay warm so they don't fucking freeze to death. And everybody needs a car because not everybody can go to their job without a car. You need trucks to go and deliver the groceries to your store. You're going to convert that all to electric to keep from polluting the air, right? But then we still have problems with them electric batteries that are known to leak and explode, and toxic chemicals going on like in batteries, and them battery-powered vehicles. I saw on the TV news where one of them burst into flames in somebody's garage and burned their fucking house down. So the technology is still flawed. Our people in authority over us in governments that say they want to do this to combat global warming, they say they know it all. They know more than we do, but yet there's still flaws in the technology. I mean, even though I'm not denying, someday the petroleum and all over the world could run out, and who the fuck knows. But we all have what do you want to call it? Incomplete information. Whether some of us agree or disagree on these things, but it sounds like double talking. But that's where we're at.